Hello there, it's Sarah from Paper Lovely. Thanks for joining me today. I have got 3 more cards to share with you that I've created using the Spellbinders Tropical Friends small die set, as well as the Pink Paislee Confetti Wishes collection. This is a much older collection. I had some leftovers, and as I mentioned in the previous video, when I saw this die set and the parrot and the toucan, I thought, oh, this matches perfectly. So I have pulled in some leftover ephemera, and we're going to keep these cards pretty clean and simple. They all have a white background. You know how I love a card with a white background. So just some ephemera mixing up with some of these birds, and I will give you a look here at what I put together. So card number 1, all 3 of these cards actually are a slimline sized card. So these measure 3.5 wide by 8.5 tall, and they do fit in a regular letter sized envelope. So I've gone ahead here, I grabbed a happy birthday ephemera piece. This is a chipboard, and then I have popped up my birds using some foam dots. I'm going to add a little bit of liquid glue behind those tiny feet, and then I'm going to press those onto the top of this banner. So they're both sitting on top of that banner there. I do make sure I get some glue under those feet because they are attached with a very tiny dot of liquid glue, and I just want to make sure they're extra secure. I'm also going to add a little bit to the tail to make sure that is down tight on top of our chipboard as well. I love the way these birds layer together. You can really do either direction. They layer so perfectly. I love the pop-up of their wings, the way you can give them dimension. It's such a fun die set. So there I gave you a look at the stamp set I'm using. This is from Stamp Market. It's called Cue the Confetti. It has some really great birthday sentiments in it. For this one, I went with There Is So Much to Celebrate. And per usual, I'm stamping that with my Simon Says Stamp Intense Black ink. I'm going to go ahead here, add some liquid glue to my card panel, and then I'm going to press that into place on the top of my card base. And when I do that, I try to get glue around all 4 edges and then a little in the middle. And then I'm going to press that onto the front of my card base. And I sort of go around all 4 sides, just making sure that those line up. And then I'll use my bone folder and make sure that's pressed down nice and tight. We've added some ATG to the inside panel. I'm going to pop that into place. Again, give that a once over with my bone folder, and that will complete card number 1. Here for card number 2, we are working on the same slimline card, just turning it the opposite direction. I've gone ahead here and already added a sticker which reads Celebrate. It's got some pretty gold foil to that. And I've got 3 of my toucans here that I'm going to place along the bottom of my card. So I've added those directly on the card base, just using some liquid glue here. I feel like I have enough dimension with their little wings popped up. And I'm going to try to get these as straight as I can. You'll see in a moment here I pull in my ruler just to try and make sure I'm getting those little feet the same distance from the bottom of my card. And that's the nice thing about using a liquid glue. It gives you a little bit of time that you can sort of scooch things around if you need to. Get that last little guy pressed into place here. And then I'm using that same stamp set, this time going with Happy Birthday. We'll again attach our panel to the front of our card base. One of the things I love about this size card is that when you cut your panel, basically what you have left is the exact perfect card base. You have to just have to trim an extra ½ inch off of it and then score it and you're good to go. You can make a whole card and a panel out of one sheet of cardstock. Again, making sure that's down nice and tight. All my edges are even. We'll add some ATG to the back of that panel. Place it on the inside here. And that will complete card number 2. All right, here we are with our third and final card for today's video. I have pulled in another piece of chipboard. This reads, "A party like it's your birthday." And I've just got one parrot here that we're gonna pair with it. I had these balloon stickers and I just thought they were so cool. So I wanted to use them somehow. And I played around with the idea of string and sort of having his wing hold it, but it just didn't look quite right. So in the end, I decided I was just going to draw the balloon strings on, and he's just holding them with his other wing. That's why we can't see it. So it made a lot more sense this way. I'm going to add some liquid glue behind this chipboard. I can't remember if I mentioned earlier or not, but I do find that a little bit of liquid glue behind these pieces that are already sticky just reassures me it's not going to fall off. Sometimes that sticky just doesn't quite stay on that cardstock the way that I would like it to. So I'm going to press that into place here, and then we'll go ahead and pop up our bird as well. A little glue on the tail feathers and those feet. And then lastly, I did want to add some dimension to my balloons as well. So a couple of foam dots behind there. For the 2, since that's so thin, these are very small dots, but I went ahead and just trimmed some of those in half. I'm just going to layer those all around. These dots come in packs of the larger and the smaller dots, but I always seem to run out of the larger ones first. All right, and our card front is done. Again, using that same stamp set, this one reads, "It's your day." These are new, this was a new stamp set, so I needed to stamp everything quite a few times to get that nice solid black layer. We'll add our glue going all the way around the edge. A little in the middle. And press that panel on the top of our card base. Of course, we're going to add some ATG to the back of our inside panel. And we'll pop that in place. And that will complete card number 3. Here are a few close-ups of the finished cards. In the description box below, you'll find my blog post, which has additional photos and links to the supplies I've used. If you enjoyed the video, please leave me a comment or a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.